right. It's got to be exactly the same all the time. Otherwise, the texture don't come out right in the noodle.
It's been said repetition is the mother of learning. And no one in the central Texas town of Serbin has learned more about noodles than Hattie Chowchick.
Beat 'em good.
She, her daughter, and her niece have had noodle days like this one every week since 1992.
We usually make 21 batches, which is about 200. It depends upon how the eggs are. It's 250 pounds to 260 pounds a week.
And by now, everyone knows their job.
What is it that you're doing exactly here?
We're fluffing the noodles to where they don't... Fluffing.
Fluffing?
Fluffing.
Fluffing the noodles?
Fluffing, like a fluff.
Fluffing.
You know, fluffing so they don't stick together.
So that would make you a...
I'm a noodle fluffer.
That's what I thought. A noodle fluffer.
They don't taste like nothing right now, but you cook them in that butter and that chicken broth, that's when they're good.
You know, I could probably put a hammer in a bowl of butter and it would taste okay.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people, they just use butter. They really do. But I said it's better if you got the chicken broth. It tastes more like a German noodle.
After making noodles, as long as you have, surely you're tired of eating noodles, aren't you?
No.
You're not?
No. The other day, I don't know what was wrong. I didn't feel well, and I said, well, I guess I'll just cook me a pot of noodles. I cooked me a little handful of noodles, and that was my supper. No, I'm not tired of noodles.
Hattie keeps the noodles going, and at 88 years old, they keep her going. But it's not only Hattie who loves them. These might be the most important noodles in the state. Local markets buy them by the case. Area restaurants serve them. And not only can they sustain you when you're sick, but they help sustain an entire ethnic identity.
All around surrounding here, they're all a lot of Wends that their parents or their grandparents came from Germany.
Language, religion, education. In the 1850s, the German government was taking all of that away from a minority group inside their borders, known as the Wendish.
They were treated as a minority. They were kept down educationally, economically. The Germans didn't really want them to speak their language, so they were treated not well, as second-class citizens.
In 1854, a small group of Wends couldn't take the oppression any longer. Almost 600 of them set sail for Texas. After much disease and hardship, they established the Wendish community of Serbin. St. Paul Lutheran Church was the heart of that new settlement more than a century and a half ago. Jack Wiederhold plays organ there today.
I think it's mostly a story of religious conviction, because that's what brought them here. They would not have left Germany if they had been treated economically, education-wise, and religiously left alone. They probably would still be in Germany today. In fact, there are many Wendish people in Germany today. That area of Germany is bilingual. The street signs are in Wendish and German. So there's still many Wendish people that did not leave Germany.
For the Texas Wends, their new home was a mixed bag. They had freedom to run their own schools, businesses, and churches, but their population was too small to resist the influence of American culture. Serbin never became more than a small town, and now the greatest concentration of Wendish is in the church cemetery.
I was baptized in that church, and I got married in that church, and I guess I'll get buried in that church too. This one next to my husband, that's kin folks, and that's kin folks, and that's kin folks, and that's kin folks.
lot of your friends and family are right here.
Right.
Your maiden name was Mitchke,
Yes.
and now it's
Chowchik.
lots of Wendish people in here.
Right. Oh, gosh, yeah. All of them up there, that's all Wendish. All of them up there, those old tombstones. They're all Wendish people.
The Wendish language has nearly died out, but folks around here are determined to save the rest of their culture. The Wendish Heritage Society saw it slipping away for good in the late 80s, but instead of a funeral, they decided to throw a party.
The Wendish people were more jovial than the Germanic people. You could always tell a Wendish homestead from a German homestead because you would hear more laughter coming from the Wendish homestead.
We are open! The beer is cold! Come on over!
Welcome to Wendish Fest, Serbin's annual celebration of, well, of all things Wendish. People come from all over the world, including Germany, to enjoy traditions like egg painting, dancing, sauerkraut making, and Kletternpfosten. And the tradition at the top of the list? Well, 1,000 pounds of Hattie's famous noodles, of course.
We cooked them this morning, and they are just perfect. Just right. It's a big day for me because it's once a year, but I enjoy it. They always say, here's the noodle lady, so I'm the noodle lady.
With every noodle boat sold, the Wendish Society is keeping their culture afloat. People with last names like Lehman, Becker, Schubert, and Wunche can come back for a taste of what life was like for their ancestors. You don't know any Wendish at all?
Well, I know two words.
Oh, what are they?
Well, welcome is Witachi Kanam, and goodbye is Bojime.
That's it?
That's it. That's all I know.
Uh-huh.
That's all I know.
How would I say beer in Wendish?
Pivo!
And somewhere in the tiny church or out in the historic cemetery or among the exhibits, Jack hopes they connect with the convictions that brought their families here.
They knew what they believed, and they were willing to leave behind everything. Their new life was beginning. It wasn't easy, but they had such strong inner convictions that they were willing to leave that to come here. So I guess standing up for what you believe is definitely a lesson you could learn from this.